Oh, hi! Welcome to my channel. Today, as you've probably guessed, is all about handstand. Now, when I put this on my my Instagram wall, I asked if you guys wanted either a squat tutorial or a handstand press, and I cannot believe the amount of people that wanted a handstand press workout. Basically, what I had in mind was a workout that you guys could do each week in order to get you stronger and more prepared to basically own your handstand and your handstand press like a boss. The key things that you need for a handstand are strong shoulders, strong arms, strong core, and the key things that you need for a handstand press are an even stronger set of shoulders, arms, core. You also need hamstring flexibility. So this workout basically incorporates all them things in one. Okay, who this video is not for. It is not for those of you that have shoulder injuries, wrist injuries, back injuries. It's also not for those of you that have never, ever, 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 ever. Anyway, it's not for those of you that have never, ever done a handstand. I will do another video for, beginner, back to basics kind of handstand tutorial. This is for people that have already kind of started to work with a handstand and just want to make it better, safer, stronger, and then obviously move into a handstand press. Okay, it's a long one. It is a long one, but you know what? That's what it takes. I'm so excited to bring this to you guys because I love it. I love, love, love it when people are training towards like a skill and not just a sort of aesthetic goal. The bonus of being able to do a handstand is that you get those like sculpted shoulders and triceps, but then on top of that, you're actually able to do a handstand, which is an amazing party trick. I mean, chicks dig handstands, so, Okay, the end, let's go. The things that you will need for this workout are a good sturdy yoga mat, a resistance band, and a wall that is strong enough to hold you for a handstand. That is it. That is all you will need. I've put links to these products and these things in my bio. No, not in my bio. That's so Instagram of me. I've put them in the comments below in the description. Sorry, I'm new to the YouTubies, so be nice. Alrighty. So the first phase of this session that we're doing together is a stretch. And the reason that I wanted to kind of divide this workout into two parts, or this session or workshop into two parts, is because mobility is key and flexibility is key when it comes to handstand press. And that is the thing that I always see holds people back the most, obviously aside from strength. But actually, if we can address making your hamstrings more flexible, you need less strength to press up. You're gonna need your resistance band. Let's come onto our back. Okay. So, first and foremost, let's put this down. First and foremost is the breath. Yeah, so I want you to just take a little bit of time to focus in on the practice. That's one thing that I think the yoga practice really facilitates, is a sense of focus. We want to try to drown out any negative or positive dialogue that we have around our handstands. So, I can't do it, I'm not strong enough, or I'm super strong, I should be able to do this. Just drop all of it and actually just focus on getting feedback from the body. The best way for us to be really sensitive to that feedback is first tuning into the breath and making a conscious decision to stay hyper aware of the sensations and the messages that we get from our body throughout the practice. Hands onto the belly. Let's just take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Relax the shoulders, the face, the jaw. Move your hands up to your chest. Breathe in. And exhale. Focus fully and completely on the breath. Take your arms up above your head. Take hold of either elbow if you can, or wrist if your shoulders are a bit tight. Take a deep breath in. And a full breath out. So at all times, guys, to really get the most from this flexibility practice, I need you to be focused on the breath, the quality of the breath, or your body just will not relax into these stretches. Okay, so from here, let's just come to hug the right knee in towards the chest, squeeze it in, relax the shoulders as you do, notice the tension on the left and right side. At all times, we are sort of going through a bit of a self-body assessment, yeah, just to check in. Take the leg across the body down to the floor, come into a twist. Just checking for the nips. Come back to center, bring the knee back into the chest. Change sides, left leg hugs in. Relaxing the shoulders, getting a nice tight squeeze here, noticing where you're feeling your tension today. Take the leg across the body and just recognizing that it's gonna be different every day. So each week when you approach this plan, this sequence, you wanna have that time to check in because your body will be feeling different depending on your attitude, depending on, you know, your activity throughout the week. Okay, so from here now, what I would like you to do is hug that knee in and then kick it up towards the ceiling and just find that first initial kind of tension. Yeah, you're gonna grab your band, you're gonna make a small loop and place it at the ball of your foot. Yeah, so that top part of your foot there. Okay, and you're gonna hold the opposite end. So as you can see, there's a little bit of there's a cross there, yeah? Okay, and then from here, I'm gonna find, okay, there's my resistance. So I can feel that initial sort of, I'm not in like agony, but I can sort of feel the stretch. Now from here, we're just going to pull down on the band and start to push through the ball of the foot. This is a bit fiddly initially. You need to make sure that band is flat. So we're just gonna push, 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 yeah? Keep that tension on the band, keep that leg in that position that suits you. If you're here, it's fine, okay? But find that position, we're gonna go for 30 pumps, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're trying to warm up the hamstring, yeah? Warm up all this fascia through the back of the leg. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, should be building some heat, 23, 24, 25, which is good, 26 is gonna help us to stretch, 28, 29, and 30, good. Come back into the stretch, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, pull that leg a little bit closer. Again, inhale, pull it away. Exhale, pull it a little bit closer. Inhale, let it go away. Exhale, pull it in that little bit closer. This time, lift the head, try to kiss your knee. Good, release it down. All right, all the way down to the floor. Interlace your fingers, arms reach up, just point the toes. Notice the sensation difference between the right and left side. Hug the knees into the chest, squeeze in. Okay, right leg goes down, left leg, yeah, cross, pull. Just watch those hips. Your body will always cheat. It'll try to compensate and find the easiest way, but we want to stay nice and honest here so that we can get the very best stretch that we need to. So keeping that pelvis nice and square, much tighter on the left side for me. I'm going to find that resistance. And then from there, you ready? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep your core tight as well. 6, 7. So don't let your back come off the floor. 9, 10, I'm just gonna adjust this, 11, 12, 13, really feel like the whole back of the leg is working. 15, this is the best way, we need to warm it up before we can just stretch it. 19 and 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Good, from here, I'm just gonna adjust my band, take a breath in, and exhale, pull the leg in. Watch that pelvis. Breathe in. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Release down. Interlace the fingers, arms reach up, point the toes, and then hug the knees into the chest, squeeze the knees in. Okay, move that band right out of the way. Rock it up.
Good, we're gonna come into a bent knee downward facing dog, and we're just gonna walk out through the heels. So just pump the legs here. Please start getting into the habit, even though we're doing hamstring focus first, of not going into a really bad hyperextended downward facing dog, okay? Because this is essentially half a handstand, right? We're just not in that sort of vertical position. So I need you to really start to train your mind and body to be in this position. We want to train that muscle memory so that every time you come into it, the ribs are in, shoulder blades kind of hugging together. Nice, safe position. This is bad, this is what we want. And then you just train yourself to be in that position each time. Belly pulls in, core is active. Shake out the head, yes and no. And just pumping out those heels. You want to keep stretching into the hamstrings here a little bit. Let's come forward into a push-up position. Push the floor away, really protract through the shoulders so you're rounded through the upper spine. Squeeze the glutes. Again, muscle memory for your push-up position from now on. Even when you're in some other fitness class, I want you to be working on this kind of push-up. Much safer on the shoulders, stronger on the core. This is Instagram, not good. This is gymnastics, okay? So from here, we're gonna lower down all the way to the floor. Roll the shoulders back, lift into cobra, and we're gonna go into upward facing dog. So we need you to lift off, feel that stretch at the front of the hips. We want that, because sometimes what's restricting our hamstrings is that we're actually locked up through the front of the hips. So I need you to stretch through the front, okay? We're just gonna do 3 vinyasa flows. Press back, bent knee down dog, find that safe position for the spine. So inhale, round forward, exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra first, then pull everything off. Feel the front of your hips stretch. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Bend the knees, look forward, walk the feet all the way up to the hands. Come and hang out in ragdoll. So take hold of either elbow and just shake out your head, yes and no. Get nice and heavy here. Start to swing the body from side to side. Release your arms and unroll all the way up to standing. Stack each vertebra one at a time. And as your head lifts, go ahead, reach the arms up, bring the palms together, lengthen. And then exhale, bring the hands back to the heart. In fact, I'll face this way. Hands on hips. You're gonna be with the feet hip distance apart. Now, squeeze your glutes and tuck your tailbone, yeah? So I want you to find this sort of position that you would have if you were in a perfect handstand. Yeah, hands are gonna be on the hips, and we're gonna raise the legs, so raise the heels. So we're lifting up, yeah? Lifting up. This is just to keep that hamstring, all of this sort of like posterior chain, all the muscles down the back of the legs, I wanna switch on, yeah? So 30 raises. 5, 6, 7, 8, think about it going all the way up into the glutes. 10, but keeping all this locked. 11, 12, my tailbone is tucked under. 13, not like this. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, should be starting to heat up. 23, it'll make it easier for us to do the stretching. 25, 26, oh my goodness, 27, ow, 28, 29, and 30, perfect. Okay, so now from here, arms reach up, and then bow forward, release down. You're gonna go ahead and step that right leg back into a long lunge, drop the knee down to the floor, sink through the hip, inhale. As you exhale, front leg straightens. As much as you possibly can, toes pull towards your face, body drops forward. We're not gonna stay here too long. You're coming back into the lunge. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, hold here, relaxing through the back of the neck. So I need everything to be releasing as much as possible here. So really drop in through the back of the neck so you get that stretch all the way up through the back body. Come back into the lunge. Inhale, tuck the toes. So we're in a runner's lunge, arms reach up. Hands onto the hips. You're gonna step that back foot in, straighten the front leg, lean forward, inhale. Hands come down wherever you can. Maybe the shin. Maybe you can get your hands to the floor. If you need to bend that front knee a little bit, that's fine. Back of the leg release, back of the neck releases. So we're in a standing forward fold. Yeah, belly pulls in, round through the spine here. Push that back heel to the floor. Your back toes are turned out. Really feel like you're grounding down. Yeah, so pressing the feet into the floor. Want to be nice and active through the legs. You're going to bend the front leg, lift the leg off, hold here. We're going to try and balance. So we're putting the muscle under load, while also just making it stretch and strengthen at the same time. Release down. Unroll all the way up to standing, arms reach up, inhale, exhale, release down. Left leg goes back this time, drop the back knee to the floor, open up through the chest, stretch through the front of that hip, and then stretching. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale. Exhale, this time hold. Feel that stretch down the back of the leg. Shake out your head yes and no. Come forward. This time lift off, arms reach up. Real deep stretch through the front of the hip. Remember, we need to release the front as much as the back. Back foot steps in, back toes are turned out. We're folding forward over that front leg. So dropping down. Back of the leg, back of the neck, releases. Pressing into the feet, relax the shoulders, keep your hips square. Your hip will want to open up like this, but we want to keep it nice and square. Deep breath in, full breath out. Shift forward, back leg kicks up towards the ceiling. Press into the foot, really start to lean down. Don't worry if you're in this sort of position here, okay? Doesn't mean you're not going to be able to do a press to handstand. I'm just trying to help you work on that mobility to make it easier eventually, okay? Holding here, 2, 1, release down. Unroll all the way up to standing. Stack each vertebra one at a time, arms reach up. Inhale, hands at the heart, exhale. Come into a nice wide position here. So we're going to turn the toes in and the feet go out wide, yeah? So feet are out wide, toes are turned in, arms up, inhale, and then exhale. Bend the knees slightly, tip forward, drop the body down. Inhale halfway, exhale, come down. I'll show you what this looks like from the side, although my feet are gonna slip on the floor. Let's move this way a little. So inhale, and then exhale. What I'd like you to do is grab through the legs, inhale, push away, exhale, pull in. So the body never has to panic. Inhale, the nervous system doesn't have to panic. Exhale, pull in. Because we don't stay in these postures for too long. We want to keep it nice and dynamic. Inhale, and then exhale, pull in. I urge you to just bend the knees very slightly, yeah? To just stretch through the top of the hamstrings and not just through this part at the back of the leg, which tends to get quite intense. We want to also get through the top. Inhale and exhale. Good. Take the hands down to the floor. Move yourself so you're back into a straight position on your mat. And walk out through the heels, open up through the back of the legs. Last position to stretch out here. We're going to lift the left leg high. As high as you possibly can, but keeping those ribs in. And then from there, bring the knee to the back of the wrist, pigeon pose, move back a little bit more, so we're stretching into the hip here now. We're not gonna do too much. Nip popping out, hopefully you couldn't see. Square off the hips, lift up through the chest, and then body comes down to the floor. Relax through the back of the head as much as you can. We don't need to stay too long into the stretch. But releasing the hips, again, is going to make it easier for you to float up. If you feel any twinge in the knee when you're in a pigeon position, you want to back out of it slightly. Maybe even avoid it altogether. Come back up. From here, you're going to bend your back leg. Now, here's where the band might come in handy. If you feel super tight through that back leg, just hook the band. Yeah, and then take it over the shoulder and you can use it like this. I'm gonna grab it with my hand, but here's the key. I want you to keep your pelvis nice and square when you grab that leg. Start to pull the heel in. okay? Try not to let, your hips are gonna wanna do that. They're gonna wanna drop off to the side. I want you to keep them square and you're pulling nice and straight. So we get this nice straight angle across the quad. Okay, we're gonna release, change sides. Press it back into down dog, walk out through the heels. Okay, this time the right leg lifts up, inhale, and then swing it forward, take it to the back of the knee. Come into your position, square off the hips as much as you can, and then bring forearms down to the floor, head comes down, relax. Relax the shoulders as well, and just soften into this one. Take a deep breath in, full breath out. Remember, the body's only gonna let go if you can in your mind as well. And that's why we try to find the sweet spot in a stretch. Come back up. If you go too hard, your body will tense up against you. If you are obviously not going deep enough, well, then you're not gonna get the stretch. So we gotta find this sort of sweet spot. So you're gonna bend that back leg. Now look, I can already feel like I wanna go into that position, okay? We're gonna try and stretch that tight line. I'm gonna grab hold of the foot this time, because I know this side's a little worse. I'm gonna hold on the inside of the foot and then start to pull in, finding that tight line. You might need to adjust yourself to find what is tight for you, where is tight for your body. Breathe out as you pull that heel in a little bit more. Okay, and then release. We're gonna go back into downward facing dog, walk out through the heels. Bend your knees, look forward, walk the feet up to the hands. Halfway lift here, inhale, grab the legs, try and really pull the forehead towards the floor, bend the knees, and roll all the way up to standing. Arms reach up, palms together. Exhale, hands come back to the heart. Amazing. So, hamstrings will be nice and open. Grab a drink of water if you need it, make any adjustments that you need to, and we're gonna get straight into our strengthening set. Let's go. Okay, what we're gonna do is first and foremost, learn the hollow body position. So, coming onto your back. Okay, hollow body position. Easy variation first. Let's just lift the feet off the floor in a tabletop position. Bring the hands to the back of the head and lift your head and shoulders off, belly pulls in. This is a hollow torso position. My ribs are in, my belly's drawn in, and my back is imprinted. My spine is imprinted on the floor, and that's what we need to have, because you don't want to do a handstand like that, okay, because it puts a lot of pressure on the shoulders and the facet joints, then the spine. It puts, you know, it's not an ideal way to handstand. It's not efficient. So to have an efficient handstand, we need to be in a nice, supported, active position like that, utilizing the strong musculature that we have to support our bones, yeah? Okay, so from here, you're gonna have your knees bent, hands to the back of the head, just supporting, but we do want to strengthen your neck's ability to stay in this position, so don't crunch your neck in. And then if you want to go harder, you're going to extend the legs. We're holding here for 20 seconds, belly pulls in nice and flat. Really try to activate through here, like really try to pull the ribs down. Keep breathing. Shoulders pull away from the ears. If you want to make it harder, take your arms up, but just watch that belly. See how it's blowing up and back's popping off? Try to pull it in and rest. Take the hands up, roll out your shoulders. Okay, we're gonna go back in. So, second set, ribs in, legs off. Hold it here, or here, or here. I'm already struggling because I just did this. Belly in. See how I checked? My belly was popping up. You have to keep your eyes on it. 4, 3, 2, come down. Perfect. Roll out the wrists. Fingers roll. Yeah, so we're just warming this whole thing up. Okay, now from here, we're gonna go into a rock position. So for this last set, hollow body rock. So what I need you to do is pull the rib cage in, head and shoulders come off, legs extend or knees bent. Now, what we're trying to do is literally rock back and forth. Okay, but we're trying to keep that dish position. okay? 20 of those. I'm gonna try and rock with straight legs, keeping that stomach nice and flat. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, back farts, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, can't count at the same time, 20. Okay, rock up, take the hands behind you, fingers point flat forward, chest up, lift the hips off. Okay, so you're pressing into the shoulders and lifting your hips nice and high. Now your stomach wanna blow up like that. I need you to pull the belly in, squeeze your glutes, drop down, inhale. So this is really good for the shoulders, but really good at activating your posterior chain. Okay, so breathing in, and then exhale, lift. Inhale, exhale. 3, we're doing 10 of these. 4, 5, 6, 7, really try and get high, 8, 9, 10. Good. Come down, shake it out. Okay, so now we're gonna move into wrist work, okay? So come into an all fours position, and all you're gonna do is just turn the fingers out, and we're just gonna start to move from side to side here, okay? Now, here's a key thing. No, I'm not gonna talk about that. I'll tell you in a second. Okay. Okay. Now, there's a little thing that I need to explain to you. Actually, I'm gonna come right up to explain it. So there's a little thing that I need to explain to you in regards to wrist work. Now, I'm gonna show you this really quick trick when it comes to handstands. And it actually should be applied whenever you're doing anything on your hands, not just handstands, but push-ups, downward facing dog, chaturanga, anything. So if you bring your hands together like this, yeah, and you press into all 10 fingers, what you'll notice is that there is a little gap at the wrist. Can you see that gap through here? Okay. Now take your hands away. If you place your hands together really softly and you look down, that gap should still be there. Yeah, can you see that? Now, bring your hands together, press them as hard as you can together, gap disappears. That third variation is bad. That is where we start to see pain through the wrists, problems through the wrists. That's an indication of the fact that your hands aren't doing enough work and you're just dumping the weight, whether it be the weight of just your shoulders, your upper body, or your handstand into the wrist joint. Now, to combat that, remember what we did first variation, we brought the hands together and we pressed into all 10 fingers. Now you can push your hands really freaking hard together and that gap doesn't disappear because you're pushing into the fingers, you're gripping. And that is what I need you to do on the mat every time we're doing wrist work, but also every time you do handstands, every time you do a push-up, be making sure that your hands are pressing down as well because that's gonna strengthen everything, okay? So now we're gonna come into wrist stretch. So turn the fingers point to point forwards, a little bit of pressure into the hands, tuck the toes, press back, just stretch through the front, the forearms a little bit here. Yeah, so let the heel of your hands come off and we're just keeping those fingertips nice and straight. Big breath in, full breath out. Drop the head. Come forward, turn the hands around, fingers point forward, yeah, and then press back. Stretching to the front of the wrist. You don't want to put too much weight into this position, we just want to stretch it out. Okay, release. Shake it out and just start to move your fingertips. And while you're moving your fingertips like this, we're just keeping the hand and the wrist and the forearms nice and warm. Keep doing that. I just want you to be creepy AF, and all you're going to be doing is sitting there watching the screen doing this. I'm going to show you what we're next going to do, but I need you to keep doing this, okay? Spirit fingers. Alrighty, so what we're going to come into is some finger to fist work. So you're going to come onto your fingertips and then you're going to come onto your fists like this. So fingers, fists. Show you from the front. Fingers, fists. Fingers, fists. That's it, okay? So come into that all fours position. Tuck the tailbone, core nice and tight. Fingertips, fists, fingertips, fists. We've got about 20 seconds of this. Yeah, we're just trying to warm up and switch on those muscles through the hands, the wrists, the forearms. Keep going. I know it seems boring, but it's actually gonna do you wonders to protect those wrists and strengthen those hands. You'll be surprised at how much it really helps. Okay, stop there, perfect. Okay, little kind of tip for those of you that already have wrist issues, if you get sore through the wrist, I would highly recommend before you go to like a vinyasa yoga class, arrive like 5 minutes early and just do that little wrist sequence that I just did then. 20 seconds, 3 sets before you start your yoga class. Okay, alrighty. So now what we're gonna do is come into a hollow body push-up. Alrighty, actually, so now what we're gonna do is just come into a little bit of mobility for the shoulders before we activate them. So all you're gonna do is come into what's called Anahatasana, so heart opening pose. I need you to take your arms forward, your hips are over your knees, your arms come down, and your forehead comes to the floor. This is the one time that I'm gonna ask you to let your rib cage relax for a second. So I'm okay with it sort of lapsing and we're getting this kind of big arch through the back, but right up in the air, like offensively pushing your butt up in the air, okay? So forward to the floor, keeping the arms nice and straight. Just notice if your arms are trying to bend, and that's making space for tight lats, yeah, latissimus dorsi. So what we wanna try and do is make sure that the arms are nice and straight, and all you wanna do is almost like lock your elbows in so that they can't turn out. So you're gonna almost turn like the thumbs up towards the ceiling, and then turn them back down, head down, and let yourself sink into this one. You can then pull the rib cage in. Inhale, let the rib cage relax. Exhale, rib cage in. Really subtle movement, but you'll really feel the stretch through the shoulders. Inhale, exhale, ribs in. Keep those elbows in check. Inhale and exhale. Okay. Perfect. Press back into child's pose, relax the back of the neck. Just take a few breaths here. Unroll back up to standing or back up to seated position. Okay, so now we're gonna come into the sort of more aggressive side of the workout, okay? So the push-up position, although actually that ab work is intense, that hollow body stuff. So now we wanna flip our hollow body, yeah? So we did the hollow body stuff on the floor, now we're gonna come into push-up hollow body. And this, from now on, is how I would like you to be doing your push-ups. So really finding that nice gymnastics type push-up position, because to me, this is much safer on the shoulder and it's better on the core. So this is Instagram, this is safe. Okay, so let's work on this. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the thighs, squeeze your core, belly in. As much as you can, push the floor away. And we're just gonna hold this. Breathe, squeeze. It's only 10 seconds here, squeezing through the glute. Belly pulls in nice and tight. Then we're gonna bring the right leg up and we're gonna bring it up above the elbow, okay? So you're in between the elbow and the upper arm. I don't care where it is up there, but it needs to be above. It cannot be down here. If it's down here, it defeats the purpose of this, okay? So really push away, bring it in, hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, squeeze, 8, squeeze your abs, 10, relax. So I really need you to be squeezing through your abs here, guys, squeezing through your shoulders. So much of what we do in this program is about holding positions, because that's essentially what you have to have the strength for to do when you're about to go up into that press. You are essentially holding a position that's so awkward, and you need to have the strength and endurance to be able to do it. Okay, so let's go again. We need to strengthen also this part of our abdominal. So other side, hollow body position, push up, squeeze. 1, 2, 3, 4, belly in, 5, 6, glute squeeze, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Perfect. Come down, legs come around in front. So there are gonna be times where you're really gonna wanna give up and you're gonna be like, this is boring and I can't do it. It's just the way it is on the journey, on the quest for the press
okay? Belly in, hands forward. But the good news is you can do it at home, you could do it while you were watching TV. You know, it's one of those things that you just need to integrate into your daily life. Okay, legs forward. Now, this is gonna really work into your core and your hip flexors, okay, which need to be strong to get you to float up. So I want you're gonna lift your legs off the floor with straight legs. Now, the more you move your hands back behind you, the easier it becomes to lift your legs, okay? So scale it to what your body is capable of right now. We only have to do 10. I cannot count and do these at the same time. So let's go, legs out in front. I'll count them in my head. You can count them in your head. We're doing 10. Legs straight, let's go, little pulses. Good, okay? Releasing there. You're gonna take your legs wide, but not too wide, okay? So hands come forward, belly in. You can go a little bit wider than that. I just wanna make sure that I don't chop my foot off in the camera because that'll really annoy me when I get to editing. Hands come forward. So we're doing the exact same thing, okay? But really trying to lean forward. Now, if you're really tight through your hamstrings, this is gonna be hard. You might need to take the hands back behind you. But this is why mobility and flexibility in the hamstrings is so important, because the strength to do this and hold yourself up is what's required for a press to handstand. Okay, hands forward, belly in, let's go. Oh my goodness, crampy, crampy. Good, hug the legs in, come into a push-up position, drop down, stretch the front of the legs. Front of the abs, tip from side to side, press back, downward facing dog. Come forward into a push-up position, squeeze the glutes, 10 seconds here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, really push, 9, none of this, 10, left leg first this time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, push, 6, squeeze your abs, 7, 8, 9, 10, change, 1, 2, squeeze, 3, 4, belly in, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, good. Come down, legs out in front, L-sit pulses. So from here, you ready? You can give yourself a little stretch so it just takes away some of that resistance. Hands forward, find your position, point your toes, nice locked out legs. Let's go, 10 lifts. Ooh, you might be sore tomorrow in the front of the thighs, okay? From the front, wide leg, straddle leg. Last one of these, 10 sets, 10 reps. Last one, 10 sets, imagine. Okay, arms forward, strong legs, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hip flexors, burning. Good, push up position. Nice vinyasa, remember finding that hollow body. Drop, lift, stretch, and then come into child's pose. Just take a little chill. Okay, so from here, we're gonna take it to the wall. Let's go. This is going to be by far the hardest part of the workout, because what I'm asking you to be able to do is obviously go into a handstand, and it puts a lot of pressure on the shoulders, but it builds the strength that's really required for this. I'm gonna offer you 3 different wall drills that you can do, and I'm gonna let you choose the one that you wanna do. Now, you will do a set, 3 sets of whatever variation you choose. I'm obviously gonna start with the easiest one, and then we're gonna work up to the hardest one, so you choose. So variation 1 is a simple handstand hold, okay? So all you're gonna do is take the leg up like this. Now, if you're struggling with flexibility, start low, take hold, and then walk all the way up, as close as you feel you can. Now, it starts to get a bit scary, obviously, the closer that you get. Now, have a look and see if you can tell me what's wrong with this position, yeah? Hopefully you already know. If you don't know, what is wrong with it is my lower back positioning. So we're gonna try and find that hollow body position. And you're gonna work with holding this handstand for 20 seconds, okay? As you get better at it, come out through the side. As you get better at it, you're gonna walk your hands all the way up. So if that's the variation that you're gonna take, go ahead and pause this video. 3 sets, 20-second hold. Variation number 2. I like this one because it teaches the eccentric portion of a handstand press. So that's what we're going to try and do here, is we're going to strengthen our ability to lower down out of this handstand. You're going to take your hands a little bit further away this time. Yeah? And then you're going to step your feet onto the wall. You're going to lift one leg off. You're going to start to find your handstand. You're going to stay in this split leg position, and all you're going to do is send the shoulders forward, both knees bend. You're going to very slowly lower down. So did you see that? Really slowly lowering out of it. And it's your ability to hold that position and slowly lower into it that I promise, you don't think it right now, but I promise it is going to help you develop the ability to press back up in that way. So if that's the variation that you've decided to try, you're going to do 3 sets of that, but you're going to do 3 on either leg. So pause the video now, go ahead, try and lower down. Pick a number in your mind. Maybe you're going to try and lower down for 5 seconds. That's a long time, but I promise you it'll make you so much stronger. This third variation is not my favorite, but it is a really good gymnastics variation or gymnastics drill for press to handstand. So what you're going to do is take a straddle position. You're going to take your hands maybe about 10 centimeters away from the wall. Now from there, you're going to lean your head into the wall, and you're going to really start to lean up against it. So you've got to get your whole upper back on it. And from there, you're going to start to press. Come down, press. It's a really good drill to really understand the sensation, but the cons of that, I find, is that you become too reliant on the wall, and then to try and transition, your body's and your muscle memory is kind of like, what? How do I figure this out? Because actually when you're doing a press to handstand, your head should never be tucked in like that. It's normally always out. So try it, and if you like it and it helps you to really strengthen that ability to do the straddle up, go ahead and do it, but don't get too used to it. Make sure you practice the previous variation that I gave, the eccentric sort of sensation as well. Pause this video, and then we're going to get back on our mat for a final finisher to burn out the shoulders and the abs. Well done, guys, you're killing it. Okay, so your shoulders are probably dead, and so is your core. Maybe all of you is dead. But in true virtuous form, we want to just really blast those abs one last time. So I'm going to get you to use your band again. You're going to come onto your knees like this, and we are going to take the legs out wide. You're going to take hold of your band, just bring it a little bit closer. Take hold of the band like this, and you're going to press it up above your head. Now, what I need you to be really careful of is that this doesn't happen, okay? So I need you to stay nice and tight through the core. You're going to bring it in, press it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, core tight. 6, belly in. 7, you should feel it tight. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, shoulders are already dead. 13, 14, 15, control. 16, 17, let's get it snappy. 18, but ribs in. 19, 20, perfect. We're gonna come down onto the floor, and we're doing 20 bent knee V-ups, okay? So legs out straight in front of you from here. So we find that hollow body position, bend, touch the outsides of your ankles, yeah? So those sort of knobbly bone bits, yeah? And then back down. 2, 3, find that position each time. 4, 5, a little bit more challenging. 6, arms go up. 7, 8, 9, really try and curl up. 10, 13, 14, pull your belly button in. 15, hollow body. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Well done. We've got a 20-second hold in our push-up position, and then that is it, okay? I just wanted to really seal the deal with those muscles. Remembering all those positions. So every time you do a push-up this week, you're gonna be in this position. Fingers spread. So what do we start with? Glute, thighs, push the floor away, belly in. My trusty timer, get
Squeezing, squeeze the glutes. Don't let them relax. They're part of it all. The center of the chain. Play with leaning forward a little bit. Really working those shoulders. Squeeze. 3, 2, knees down. 1. Rest. Alrighty. If you're feeling super hardcore, I'll go ahead and do that last little finisher 2 more times, if you can. That will really help to hone in on that strength and really deplete those muscles of any bits of energy that they've got left. Other than that, guys, well done. Don't do this circuit or this workout more than 2 times per week because you don't want to overexhaust your body. You want to be doing other things as well. Cool? Thank you so much for joining me for that handstand session, press to handstand session. I hope you enjoyed it. I want you to remember that the idea behind that whole press session is to strengthen your ability to do a handstand and do a press. It is not a workshop on how to do it. So it's not a tutorial. And the reason I didn't want to do a tutorial is because we can talk and talk and talk about all the different modes and methods for you finding your way into something as complex as a press to handstand or a handstand. But the truth is that until you develop the strength and the flexibility to actually be able to do it, there's no point in just talking about it. Okay? Mwah. Bye.